What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including AJ Lee WWE return set, The Rock has lost a ton of muscle, ESPN unhappy with WWE and Stephanie McMahon, is Becky the fourth man, WWE fans have gone too far, Syko Stu released from the hospital, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at AJ Lee's WWE return set. Now, our top story today takes a look at the latest when it comes to a potential WWE return for AJ Lee. Following Clash in Paris, there's rampant speculation that the former Divas champion has agreed to return to WWE. There are numerous indicators that this is indeed the case. Firstly, the main event match featured Seth Rollins taking aim at CM Punk's family. Then Rollins' wife Becky Lynch would cost CM Punk the world title. Then in the post-match aftermath, Punk would then point towards a sign directed at bringing back AJ Lee, and this was supplemented with the commentary team actively discussing an AJ Lee comeback. But now Body Slam have offered a report on the matter, and it turns out AJ has been brought up in numerous pitches in WWE. Sources have indicated to Body Slam over the last few months that a certain former Divas champion's name has been talked about a lot more than it had in previous years. The name is AJ Lee. Fightful Select stated that WWE sources have indicated that AJ Lee's name has been brought up in numerous pitches internally as of late, and Body Slam can confirm. Body Slam had heard of 3 names earlier this year that WWE wanted and hoped to have featured on their programming in 2025, and 2 of those 3 have come to fruition minus Lee. A Body Slam adds that we could be heading towards a mixed tag match. With the ending to Clash in Paris, it appears we could be heading in the direction of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee in the very near future, although nothing has been confirmed as of yet. Rumors of AJ potentially returning have lit social media on fire. AJ is one of the most popular female stars of all time, and she would certainly generate major interest if she was brought back. AJ last wrestled for WWE back in 2015, and she decided to retire due to a serious injury. Not much is known about this injury or how severe it is in 2025. However, one would assume that if WWE are reaching out directly to AJ, she's in a position to take bumps and work a full match. An AJ return is rumored virtually every year around the Royal Rumble, and with her husband back in WWE on a full-time basis, there's not a better time to reintroduce AJ to the WWE audience. The AJ and Punk vs Lynch and Rollins match is a huge deal, and if it does take place at WrestlePalooza this month, it gives credence to the reports that WWE are really trying to stack the event as humanly possible. As we all know, this event is going head-to-head with AEW All Out, so WWE want to make the card and the huge return big news and have all eyes set on the WWE product instead of their competition. This show is said to be WWE's first PLE offering on the ESPN platform, and the matches rumored for the show also include Brock Lesnar vs John Cena and Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre. Next up, ESPN unhappy with WWE and Stephanie McMahon. Speaking of ESPN, the deal between ESPN and WWE is only just getting started, but there already seems to be issues. WWE and Stephanie McMahon made the bold choice during a podcast last week to plug a VPN, and McMahon during that plug would actively encourage fans to use the VPN to access WWE on Netflix. This was somewhat confusing, as why would WWE urge fans to avoid watching on a specific platform they have signed a deal with? Nevertheless, it's now been reported by Fightful Select that ESPN weren't happy with the ad from McMahon, but it's not likely to be a major issue. At least one source we spoke to at ESPN wasn't thrilled by the VPN ad read on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. They didn't think it was going to be a major issue. It doesn't seem likely that the VPN advert will be a regular occurrence on McMahon's podcast moving forward, as WWE will want to avoid upsetting their new partner. Next up, is Becky the fourth man? The WWE made it blatantly obvious during Clash in Paris that a fourth man was debuting for the Vision stable. Rumors on social media included various names in NXT, and it eventually turned out to be the man herself, Becky Lynch. Fans are now wondering if Lynch is an official member of the faction, or Lynch is now just working an angle ahead of a potential AJ Lee return. Well, Body Slam via Patreon have claimed that Lynch helping out her husband isn't a one-time deal, and Lynch is indeed a member of the Vision stable. Body Slam has confirmed that Becky Lynch is now listed internally as a member of the Vision alongside Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed. Sources told Body Slam a few months ago that Ethan Page and Ricky Saints have been talked about creatively regarding joining the group, but there has been no movement on that as of now. Page and Saints are both in prominent storylines currently on NXT. This is an unexpected creative move from WWE. This means that for the first time in WWE history, we have a Paul Heyman girl in WWE. Next up, The Rock drops a ton of weight. Now 53 years old, WWE legend turned Hollywood megastar Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has now stunned fans during a recent gala appearance when footage of him showed up with a noticeably leaner and slimmer look. Now The Rock is definitely known for his impressively huge physique with a huge chest and huge arms, not to mention his diet that comes around about 6,000 calories per day, but this seems to be a new slimmer version of The Rock. Now, the transformation is tied to his role in The Smashing Machine, a biopic about former UFC champion Mark Kerr, which premiered at the Venice Film Festival. Now, at the premiere, Johnson sported a loose-fitting shirt visibly slimmer than usual, so much so that some viewers even wondered if footage was AI generated. And fans being fans, they made fun of the situation, calling him the Pebble instead of The Rock. Now, we know The Rock hasn't always had this physique, as he was much leaner in his earlier days at WWE, but in more later years, we've seen The Rock as he is, a huge mammoth of a man. It's kinda weird to see him like this. Next up, a WWE star calls out Brock Lesnar. Drew McIntyre was recently interviewed by Adam Glynn, and during the interview, McIntyre addressed the WWE return of Brock Lesnar. In the comments that currently has social media talking, McIntyre would outright state that he would welcome a match with Lesnar for the WWE title. I know him and Cena when it happens, it's going to be a big one. I know he wants to get even with Drew McIntyre since I beat him for my first world title at Wrestlemania. Maybe he'll be chasing down Drew McIntyre next. I'll welcome the Beast when I'm champion, if he wants to challenge me for the title. McIntyre would refuse to address his attendance at Vince McMahon's birthday during the interview, which has naturally led to a lot of criticism being directed towards the former WWE champion. Next up, John Cena admits heel turn flopped. Following another fantastic match last night at Clash in Paris, John Cena spoke with a pre-show panel, and for the first time, Cena discussed the heel turn, and he basically admitted that when he was cheered during key matches as a heel, he knew WWE needed to pivot. Well, the John Cena we all know and love. Keep in mind, we try to entertain the audience as best as we can. Sometimes that involves taking risks and being bold, but you have to listen to the audience. It got to a point that Cena versus Randy, you start hearing this, Cena versus Punk and Saudi, you start hearing the noise, Cena versus Cody at SummerSlam. It changes. Sometimes you can make bold and brave new moves, but going against this body of energy is a losing battle. Sometimes you gotta listen, pivot, and change course. The heel turn has been labelled as a complete waste of time by many, and it's easy to see why so many fans have such negative feelings towards the entire run. WWE wasted so much time with a lackluster heel presentation for Cena, and now we have just a few dates left before one of the greatest of all time calls it a day. Next up, why John Cena used the Styles Clash. Well, one of the matches that fans have been really pushing when it comes to John Cena is a final match with AJ Styles. The two had some unbelievable matches in 2016 and 2017 respectively, and at one stage a match was even rumoured between the two for Clash in Paris. Unfortunately, there is now concern that the match is never going to occur. On the post-match show last night, Cena would address using AJ Styles' Clash move during his match versus Logan Paul, and according to Cena, that's his way of honouring one of his favourite opponents, as he may not get the opportunity to wrestle him. I've had a lot of opponents over the years, and with 8 appearances left, I know I'm not going to be able to wrestle everybody who was influential in my career. But I think you saw tonight the best way I can say thank you to some of those people who affected my career is to kind of pay homage by maybe taking some risks and doing some stuff that I don't normally do out there. Now, if Cena retires in December without wrestling AJ, there will be a lot of disappointed fans. Assuming that Cena only wrestles on PLEs and TV specials for the rest of this year, that means Cena only has 5 matches left in WWE. One of those matches will definitely be Brock Lesnar, and it's entirely possible that Cena has one more match with Lesnar as WWE sees the match as a big money feud. Next up, Rhea Ripley furious as WWE fans go too far. Now, there's been an increase in wrestlers being harassed in public settings such as airports and hotels, and fans in Paris this weekend took things way too far. Rhea Ripley took to her X account to reveal that the fans swarmed her in Paris and she was pushed against a car door. Remember, we are people, do not swarm me or anyone like a pack of rabid zombies. No one should ever be pushed up against an Uber driver's door and completely mobbed like I just experienced. Use common courtesy and humanity. No means no. WTF. A footage then surfaced on social media of the incident in question, and it makes for harrowing viewing to say the very least. Fans are just going way too far and failing to respect the boundaries of wrestlers they apparently admire. Sadly, this wasn't the only incident of the weekend, as CM Punk took to his Instagram story to put fans on blast, and then Sheamus was surrounded by fans in a mall and he had to tell fans to actually calm down. Things are definitely getting worse, and it's only a matter of time before something serious happens. Fans on social media are quite rightly calling on WWE to take this seriously and have wrestlers escorted by security in public during show days. Thankfully, following numerous incidents yesterday, just before Clash in Paris, WWE did decide it was time to act, and they would have talent escorted from A to B with security at their side, and this immediately stopped them from being harassed or anyone making them uncomfortable. This needs to be the norm moving forward, particularly during major events where thousands of fans are in the same proximity as the talent. And finally, some good news, as Syko Stu has been released from hospital. Now, final story today takes a look at some positive news relating to Syko Stu. Over the weekend, it was reported that Stu has officially been discharged from hospital. Whilst this is wonderful news, it's been noted that Stu's recovery now starts, but he remains in good spirits. An official statement will be posted on Stu's Instagram page, and in the statement, he would thank everyone for their huge support. Now, there have been little updates when it comes to the status of Raja Jackson. The latest news saw an indie promotion pretending to book Jackson for an event, and this turned out to be a ruse and a publicity stunt. And quite rightly, the promotion was put on blast for using such a serious incident to gain attraction. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.